was, like I said, I was gang banging and I did it all. Like, it was just all in the gumbo pot. And, but that was just Compton, you know?
Is the game a real gangbanger?
Hell no. Don't even speak. Gang bull, because he represent Compton. That's what we know. That's it.
Was he a gangbanger before he started rapping? The game?
Who, the gang?
Yeah.
Some of the homies went to school because Cub playing basketball.
Gang was out there
Cub playing basketball.
Doing his thing.
Cub got that name off of the ball.
Hey there. Ever wondered why it appears some folks in LA aren't too keen on the game? Well, grab a seat, because we're diving into it. You see, on the streets of LA, there's this thing about respect. And for a while now, there's been a bit of tension between the game and some members of the Bloods and Crips. Two big gangs in the city. Now, here's the kicker. The game used to roll with the Bloods back in the day. But then, he started throwing shade at them in his music. Rumor has it, he claimed he was still down with them. But they didn't buy it. Then, there's the whole thing about him dissing other rappers from LA, stirring up more drama.
And Dre don't rap, so it's like, you know, if I want to, have a conversation with Dre or I'm mad at Dre, like, let me poke shots at Eminem, and then 50 can't out-rap me.
Here's where it gets interesting. The Bloods and Crips, they're big on loyalty. And when they felt like the game was disrespecting them, well, let's just say they weren't having it. So, even though he's a big name in the rap scene, some folks in LA never really gave him the respect he thought he deserved. Juicy, right? Well, stick around for more on this intriguing story. Back in the day, when the game was just starting out in the rap game, there were a lot of whispers and rumors swirling around him. People said he wasn't really about that street life, that he was just frontin', trying to be something he wasn't. See, in those times, if you didn't have street cred, you might as well forget about making it as a rapper. Labels wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole if they thought you were a fake gangster. And let me tell you, it was brutal out there for anyone labeled as a fake gangster rapper. Your reputation was everything, and if it got tarnished, you were done for. No second chances in the rap game, no sir. Well, let's for a minute talk about how being part of a gang can mean different things to different people. I mean, you've got your gang members and your gang bangers. And while they might seem like the same thing to some, there's actually a pretty big difference.
Then I was banging and I had tattoos, and so they break you down, they look at your tats, they ask you where you from. So most times they know where you from, and then they put you with the Bloods.
Let's break it down in simple terms. First off, being a gang member is like being part of a club. You pledge your loyalty to a particular gang, hang out with them, and maybe even get a tattoo to show you're down. Just being associated with a gang, even if you're not out there causing trouble, can get you in hot water with the law. Yep, even if you've never set foot in a courtroom, just being known as part of a gang can land you in trouble. Now, being a gangbanger is a whole other level. This is the guy who's out there trying to make a name for himself. He's the one you see tagging buildings with graffiti, starting fights, or even worse, getting involved in serious criminal activity. Basically, he's the one doing all the stuff that gives gangs a bad name. But here's the thing, not every gang member is a gang banger. Confusing, right? Let me explain. Take Game, for example. He's definitely a gang member. He's got ties to a gang, hangs out with them, and probably throws up their signs every now and then. But is he out there causing trouble and making a name for himself in the streets? Not really. Then you've got guys like Chris Brown. Yeah, the singer. Rumor has it he's a member of a gang too, but you're not gonna catch him cruising around Compton looking for trouble. He's got better things to do, like make music and stuff. Remember a rapper named Boss from Detroit, Michigan? She is an example of being a gangbanger. See, back in those days, rap was all about being tough and hardcore, like those gangster rappers you heard about. If you weren't rapping about the streets or putting on this tough guy act, you were pretty much out of luck. And being a female rapper? Forget about it. It was like trying to swim upstream in a river full of testosterone. So there she was, living on the streets, running with gangs, trying to build this image of herself as a hardcore rapper. And you know what? It worked. She caught the attention of some big shots in the industry, got signed to a record label, and even dropped an album called Born Gangsters. It was like a Cinderella story, but with more bling and fewer glass slippers. But here's where things start to get interesting. See, Boss wasn't exactly what she seemed. Behind all that tough talk and street cred, she was actually, wait for it, Clarence from 8 Mile. Yeah, you heard me right. She was putting on this whole act, pretending to be something she wasn't. And when the truth came out, man, it was like a bomb went off in the rap world. The newspapers were buzzing with gossip, and Boss's career took a nosedive faster than you could say, fake it till you make it. Her record label dropped her like a hot potato, and she pretty much disappeared from the music scene. So, to sum it up, being a gang member just means you're part of the club, while being a gangbanger means you're out there causing trouble and making a name for yourself. It's like the difference between being a member of a golf club and actually playing golf. One's just for show, while the other's the real deal. But here's the real deal, the truth behind all the gossip and hearsay. The game wasn't faking it. Nah, he lived and breathed that street life. You see, before he was spitting rhymes on the mic, he was out there in the streets grinding and surviving by any means necessary.
I was gangbanging and I did it all, like, it was just all in the gumbo pot. And but that was just Compton, you know?
Now let's briefly talk about the gang the Game was part of. The Game joined the Cedar Block Piru when he was in high school, although his parents were members of the Crips. One source states that his parents were from the Santana Blocc Compton Crips, while another source claims his mother was from Hoover Street Crips, while his father was from the Nutty Blocc Compton Crips. The Cedar Block Piru formed around 1980 in the west side of Compton. The name was derived from a residential street called Cedar Street.
Your parents, weren't they both Crips?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But life has a funny way of teaching you lessons, and the Game learned his the hard way. He got shot not once, not twice, but 5 times. That's right, 5 times. And let me tell you, that'll make anyone reevaluate their priorities real quick. After staring death in the face, the Game decided he'd had enough of the streets. It was time to leave that life behind and pursue his true passion, rap. And let me tell you, he didn't just dip his toes in the rap game, he dove in head first.
I went to jail for like stealing the car in 11th grade, and I ended up going to the county. That was my first time in the county, and that was a rude awakening for me.
Back in the day, there was this clip that caused quite a stir. It was like a spotlight shining on the Game, showing him in a light that some didn't expect. You see, there's this idea about gangsters, that they gotta be tough all the time, no room for softness. But the truth is, some of the toughest folks out there are also the most caring. So, when this clip surfaced, showing the Game in a different light, folks started talking. They said it made him look soft, not like a real gangster. People laughed, spreading rumors left and right. But let me tell you, being a gangster doesn't mean you gotta be heartless. Some of the most stone-cold KRs out there, they're also the goofiest, most loving people you'll ever meet. And then, Big Phase 100, the Game's half-brother, had a thing or two to say about his famous sibling. Well, here's the scoop. Big Face 100 recently spoke up about the Game's roots, claiming that he's not really from Cedar Block Piru. And guess what? The Cedar Piru crew backed him up on this. Now word on the street is, people are buzzing with thoughts. Some say that jealousy might be at play here. You know how it goes on the streets. When someone makes it big, others might feel left out, especially if they're family. Big Face 100's comments shed light on this sibling rivalry. Some folks are saying that his wealth could be causing tension within the Bloods community. It's a real street talk, folks. The Miami rapper took to Instagram to question the Game's gang affiliation. There's been quite the buzz on the streets about the Miami rapper called Stitches, who took to Instagram to question the Game's gang affiliation. Stitches throws some serious shade at the Game, claiming he's ain't no blood. I know Bloods and Crips in Compton, Stitches says. They all say you a BAN, bruh. Except only thing with me is, I'm affiliated with them. I ain't a Blood or a Crip, it's TMI gang or nothing, peace IN. When you got the balls to come see me, put 100 thou on it. Don't claim something you not trust me, boy. I got goons in every city. Real ninjas F with me the long way. But hold up, because here's where it gets interesting. The Game didn't just stay silent. Nope, he clapped back. Also, in a packed gathering at a community center in South Los Angeles, the rapper The Game, known as Jason Terrell Taylor, made a heartfelt plea to gang members from all over Southern California. He urged them to put an end to the violence, especially now with all the attention on the recent police shootings of African-American men. Speaking plainly, he said he's sending out positive vibes because he wants his daughter to feel safe walking down the streets one day. This isn't just talk, it's about making our neighborhood safer for everyone. And that's where the real action is. And that is all today. Until next time, bye.